Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Lisa Bug Yoga by the Pool. I have 4 ladies in the backyard. I have Mindy, I have Fern, I have Melissa, and I have Chris, and everybody online. Thank you for joining me today or later on YouTube. So we're going to focus a little bit on lower back and neck and everywhere in between in the spine. So most of us at some point in life have some issues with low back pain, neck pain. It's just a process of aging. We have a little bit of degenerative disc disease maybe, or just tight muscles, or maybe we've picked up a box wrong and pulled our muscle. So we're going to really open up through the rib cage, through those upper cervical vertebrae and the lower back. We're going to do that through some twisting, side bending, and also opening up the hip flexors, because our hip flexor muscles actually attach back here on our spine. So when the hip flexors are tight, it pulls on our lower back. So sometimes we don't think about that when we're stretching out the back. So we'll start at the in a mountain pose position on your mat. Lengthen your spine. Maybe close your eyes for a couple of breaths and just begin to come into the present moment and center. And just take a moment in gratitude for this beautiful day, for the opportunity for us to join one another either in person or virtually to practice yoga, to take care of our spirit, minds, and bodies. And take a moment to reflect on how your body is feeling today. If you do suffer from any lower back issues, just take care of your body as you move through the poses today. Take any options or modifications that you might need. And there's no competition today, no judgment of one another or of ourselves. So we'll open our eyes with a soft gaze. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, draw the thumbs into the heart. And we breathe in. And breathe out. This time we'll add a baby chair pose. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, sit into chair, pulling the thumbs in towards the heart center. And now you're moving at your own pace. And I love to allow the breath to dictate the movement of your body. So just notice, how deeply can you inhale and use that whole inhalation to rise up? How slowly can you exhale through the nose or through the mouth and take your time to move into that chair pose? The word yoga translates to mean union. And so we are uniting the breath with the movement of our body. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in and breathe out. 1 more. Then hold your chair pose and zip up your bandhas. The word bandha means lock. So we have a lock in our abdominal area where we brace the navel towards the spine, and we just gently tense those muscles. Look to the right side over your right shoulder. Come back through the center and look to the left side. Come back to center. Now we'll use that rotation of the head with our movement. Inhale, come up. As you exhale and sit into chair, look to the right, but we're not twisting our body yet. Inhale, come up. Exhale, look to the left. 1 more time each direction. See where you can see over your shoulder. So you're actually looking with your eyes, not just turning your head. Noticing what you see behind you. Now let's add a bigger rotation of the spine, bringing the opposite elbow across, look behind, and inhale up and to the left. 1 more each side. Twisting chair pose. Then inhale up to center to finish and sink right straight down through the middle into your chair. I want to reverse the movement of the arms. So as you come up, bring the arms forward, up and around, and then reach them straight out in front of you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale and reach. Good. Now we're opening up through the chest, through the fronts of the shoulders. If you have any shoulder problems, you can make this circle a little bit smaller. Now inhale, come up, circle around, hold that chair pose, take your right arm and open it out, look that direction, come back center. Inhale, come up, circle around, hold, open your left arm, look, and come center. We'll do one more each side. Breathe in, exhale, open, and close. Breathe in, exhale, open, and close. Breathe in, and then just hold your chair pose. Bring your thumbs back to your heart center and rise up. Step your feet a little bit wider and slightly turn your toes out. We'll inhale to stretch up. Exhale to side bend over to the right side. Oh, let's stay here for a second. Feels great. And then breathe it up and to the left. This is lateral flexion of the spine. It's going to really release tension into the lower back, into the side waist, into our lat muscles. Opening up the rib cage. Breathing into the intercostals. One more each side. Now inhale up. Interlace your hands except for your pointer fingers and stretch up, arms close to the ear. We're going to bend the right knee and side stretch over. And then come back up, straighten that right leg, bend the left knee just a bit, and stretch over. Press it up. One more each side. If this bothers your shoulders, you can bring your hands down to heart center. Last one to the left. And come up and open the arms. Good. Take a couple of shoulder rolls up, back, and down. And we are going to turn the right foot out and then turn the left heel to come into a nice warrior two stance. Now we'll really plant this knee directly over the heel, the first and second toe. Inhale, breathe up. And exhale, let your arms come right to your warrior two. Reach out through the fingertips. Take your gaze over the right fingers. And we'll start to move side to side into side angle and reverse warrior. So as you inhale, lengthen, really reach with that arm. Exhale, come back up to warrior two. Then we'll reverse our warrior. Inhale. And exhale to warrior two. At your own pace with the breath, stretch. And notice where you're feeling that nice opening through the muscles. This is an open hip pose. So we're getting a little bit of stretch through that left hip flexor. And one more time, just taking it to your comfortable edge, each direction. And coming back to hold our warrior two, reach and lengthen. Now clasp your hands behind your back. You can look straight forward through the middle, roll those shoulder blades together. I'm going to give you an opportunity to stay upright and just stretch here, work on your balance a little bit and your spinal alignment. Second option is to fold your body forward very gently and lift your arms up behind your back body. Let your head relax and dangle. And that lower body is keeping the form of our warrior two position. You can also let go of the clasp of your hands and bring your fingertips down to a block to help support you. We'll take one more breath here. And let your exhale start to pull the body up, rising up out of that pose. And then release the arms back out. Good. We'll change the feet, turning the right foot in, the left foot out. Bend that left knee and sink down into that warrior two. Good. Begin to move side to side. We have a side angle pose, reaching and lengthening, coming back up, and reversing our warrior. So everything from the top of your pelvis down is really steady and secure. So we're not moving our pelvis or our legs or our feet. And from the waist up, we're really lengthening skyward, stretching, allowing that lower back to release. And the abdominals are braced. One more each direction. And then come back to your warrior two. Hold and lengthen out. Take your gaze over those left fingertips. Pull your abdominals in. Find that Uddiyana Bandha, that abdominal lock. And then we'll let our arms relax down. Lace them behind your back. Turn your gaze straight forward and open up through your heart. Lift your arms any amount from your back body. You can remain upright or slowly take this down. Keep your warrior two position in your lower body. This is a variation of humble warrior. You can also release the clasp of your hands, bring them down to the floor or to a block to help support you. Feel your feet really grounded into the earth. We'll take one more breath. And as you exhale, use the strength of the backside of your body to pull yourself back up. And then release and come back to your warrior two. And then cartwheel your hands down to your mat towards that front foot. Push yourself back into a downward facing dog. And lift your hips nice and high. Begin to pedal out your feet very slowly, stretching gently along your hamstrings and your calf muscles. Opening up through the armpits and the lats. And just check in and notice how you're feeling after that gentle flow of side bending and forward bending for the lower back. And then press both heels down nice and even. We'll lift our right leg up into three-legged dog. Stretch it up there. And then slowly lower it down. We'll alternate, lifting the left leg up, three-legged dog. Now, if you'd prefer to come to your knees, you can do this from hands and knees position as well. And just lift one leg up behind you. And lower down. And switch. Lower down. We've got one more on each side. Right leg comes up. And left leg comes up. And lower. Now right leg lifts to prepare to step forward into low lunge. So right leg comes up, step it up between your hands, and then drop the back knee down. If you need a little padding for your knee, you can make a fold in your mat, or you can bring a little cushion underneath your knee, and we'll just come right up into a low lunge. And you really want to be aware of where this back knee is. Make sure it's behind your hip so you can create a stretch in your hip flexor on that left side. Reach your left arm up to even increase that stretch and just gently start to side bend over. Abdominals are nicely braced. One more breath. then come back up to neutral. Place that left hand down to the floor next to your right foot and open out into a twist. And really breathe into your rib cage. Expand as you breathe in. Contract the rib cage as you breathe out. And lower that right arm down out of your twist. Come back up with both arms. Reach maybe a baby back bend if that feels okay for you. Press your palms together, drop your thumbs to your heart. And we'll rotate the left elbow across the right thigh to twisting prayer lunge, looking behind you over that right shoulder. 3 breaths. Pressing into all 4 corners of that front foot, nice and stable. Last breath in. And as you breathe out, come out of that twist, place the hands on either side of the front foot, tuck the back toes underneath you, step back to your down dog, and pedal out your feet. Feel free to take child's pose here if that's feeling better for you, as we're just taking a little breather and relaxing and moving to the other side. When you're ready, lift that left leg up into 3-legged dog. Take a big step forward. Now, if you only get about halfway up, you can't get up towards the hand, pick up your left hand, grab your ankle, and pull it forward so you can get that all the way up underneath your knee. Back knee drops, and we come up to our low lunge. Just check and make sure that right knee is behind your hip so you can get a great stretch for your hip flexor. Right arm reaches. Baby side bend over towards the left. And then we breathe. There's an element of balance here because our body is off the center line. So focus on good core control and stabilization. Let's come back up to neutral. Place that right hand down next to your left foot and open out to the left into a twist. And try to look up to your fingertips. A good stretch for your neck. The shoulders should be stacked left on top of right. One more breath into the rib cage. Expand. Exhale, contract. Lower that left hand down. Now both arms rise, reach up. Maybe a baby back bend here to really open up the front of the right hip. Press the palms together, drop into the heart center. Rotate towards the left side, bringing that right elbow across. Our twisting prayer lunge. Looking over the left shoulder, spine as long as you breathe. And one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, come back to center, plant the hands, tuck the back toes underneath, press yourself back to that down dog, or rest in child's pose. In your down dog, we'll pedal out the feet one more time. And then drop the knees down to the mat, drop the forehead into child's pose. And we'll come up to hands and knees for cat and cow because that's always a wonderful progression of poses to release tension in the lower back. So from neutral, slightly drop your belly, lift your tailbone, take your gaze forward just a bit. Then as you exhale, round your back up and create space all along the back side of the spine. And we'll do one more with that traditional breath, inhaling to cow and exhaling to cat. Now inhale just to neutral. Exhale to cow. Inhale to neutral. Exhale to cat. Inhale to neutral. Exhale to cow. One more. Inhale to neutral. Exhale to cat. I want to reverse that breathing. So come back to neutral and fully exhale. Inhale to cow. Exhale to neutral. Inhale to cat. Really breathe in deep. Exhale to neutral. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, neutral. Big inhale in our cat stretch. And exhale to neutral. Right leg goes straight back. Left arm comes forward, thumb up, spinal balance. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bring the elbow and the knee together. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to pull it in. Two more. Reach and contract. One more. Reach. Contract. Now reach out and hold your spinal balance. We can remain here, just working on core control, stabilizing through that spine, or bend the back knee, that right leg, and push the heel up to the ceiling to stretch that hip flexor and quad. Our third option is to take your left hand, catch the right ankle behind you, and come up into your kneeling bow pose. So 3 wonderful options, something for everyone to take for your body and your practice. One more breath. Exhale, release, and bring the hands and knee to the mat. Left leg extends back. Right arm reaches. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bring elbow to knee. Curve your back like a cat. Breathe in, extend. Breathe out. 2 more. Using your core muscles. 1 more. Reach out, hold, hold, hold. Level pelvis. Option 1, we stay here. Option 2, bend the knee. Push the heel up to the ceiling. Option 3, the ankle catches with the hand. And we open out into a little bit of a back bend, a hip flexor, and a quad stretch. The breath moves. 1 more breath in. And exhale it out. Release the hand and knee back to the mat. Tuck the toes under. Lift back into your down dog. Walk your feet towards your hands, forward fold. If you need to support your hands onto your block, you can bring that underneath the hands. You can place the fingertips at your shins, or you can grab opposite elbows and hang in ragdoll pose. Now just release any tension in the backs of the legs. If you're really tight in your hamstrings, it's okay to let your knees bend to release that tension. Find the Uddiyana Bandha and pull your navel up towards your spine with a gentle bracing to protect your lower back from overstretching. And let your head relax and dangle to release tension in your neck. Just a little bit of traction here. Now release the hands and slowly roll up 1 bone at a time from the base of your spine. You're curving up like a cat. The head comes up very last. The arms sweep out and up and thumbs come to heart center. We're going to work on our balance pose today in Warrior 3. So step your right foot slightly forward. If you need a block or a chair or a wall to help you with balance, have that close. And then level off your hips, hands still at the heart. Begin to tip forward until your back foot comes up off the mat, ankle is flexed. And you can decide how far forward you'd like to come. So maybe just a bit. We can start to tip forward a little bit more. And once you have your balance, you can choose to change the position of your arms. So a traditional Warrior 3 would be reaching out with the fingertips, but we can also come into airplane arms or hands back beside the body. We'll take 3 breaths and really try to level off your pelvis. 2 more breaths, neutral spine, engaging that Uddiyana Bandha. And 1 more breath. And if you can, slowly pull yourself up to that standing position and step the feet together. Left foot is forward, right foot is back. I just kind of have my big toe touching, hips squared, and begin to lengthen forward until you feel that back foot want to pick up off the mat. And just see where you can go on this side. Once you feel grounded and secure in your balance, you can change those arms any way you'd like. And it's more of a balance challenge if maybe you're continually moving your arms in different positions. And breathe. Standing knee has a micro bend in it. You can even bend it a little bit more, but you want to make sure not to lock out that joint. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. And as you exhale, slowly pull your body back up and feet come together. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive into your forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and step yourself back to plank pose, either from your knees or from your toes. Nice and strong and steady. Make sure that hips aren't up like a down dog. And make sure also your hips aren't dropping, so we have it nice and strong and steady. We'll bring our right knee forward onto the mat and kick your right foot out to the side a little bit, planting your right hand in the middle, open out into a kneeling side plank. Stacking those shoulders. And then we'll move into gate pose. So you'll use the strength of your side waist to pull yourself up and to stretch the opposite direction, which is what we did with our Warrior 2, yes? And then come back down into your side plank. That top arm can even go closer to your ear to get a deeper stretch. 2 more times, pull yourself up into gate. And down into your side plank. 1 more time, pull up. And back to side plank, hold. We'll be here about 3 more breaths. If you'd like to lift the bottom knee off the mat, you can stack or stagger your feet. Any style of plank you'd like here. And 1 more breath in. Then lowering back down to high plank from the knees or toes, or resting in child's pose momentarily to take a breather. And the left knee comes forward down onto the mat. The ankle kicks out, which creates a nice base of support. Left hand in the center. Open out into your side plank, kneeling side plank, and really reach up through the fingertips. That top arm can float closer to your ear for a bigger stretch. Then prepare to pull yourself up into gate by using the strength of those side waist muscles and lower back muscles. And come back to your side plank. Slow and controlled movement, combining strength and flexibility. And one more, pulling up to gate. Lowering into your side plank. And then you choose the side plank you'd like to hold for 3 more slow, controlled breaths. You can even come down to your forearm. And one more breath in. And lower that back to high plank one more time to stabilize through your core. And then from the knees or the toes, chaturanga, we lower down to the belly. Then place the hands, stack them one on top of each other right underneath your forehead. And we're going to strengthen our lower back. Keep your legs nice and strong and active. And lift your chest up away from the mat. And you can either let your hands follow along with you, right underneath the forehead, or you can use your hands to push down into the earth and to give yourself a little assistance to come up. So either one is okay. Either using your hands to press into the earth, to rise up into baby cobra, or to take the hands along with you a little bit harder. And lowering down, we have 3 more repetitions. Strengthening the spinal extensors, called the erector spinae. 2 more. And one more time, lift up, hold. If you'd like, reach your arms forward. Let your legs both lift. For locust, you can also bring your hands next to the sides of your body. Roll your shoulder blades tight together and really lift the chest. Now make sure your chin isn't too far forward. We want the back of the neck long. 2 more breaths here. Squeeze your glutes. 1 more breath. And then bring the palms of your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up to child's pose or cat stretch as a little counter stretch for your lower back. And then we'll transition onto our seat in a Z-sit position, in Pilates known as mermaid. So take your right leg out to the side, your left leg in front of you. They're both bent to maybe about 90 degrees. Your left hand is down to the mat. Right arm reaches up, and rotate your spine backwards. So you're really trying to lift your heart up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, it's a modification of thread the needle. So you're going to reach your hand underneath and look way behind you. We'll do that 3 times. Inhale, stretch open. Exhale, reach under. Once more, nice twist here, a nice release for those tight muscles. Then reach up, hold. And then as you lower that arm down, see if you can grab hold of your ankle next to you here and pick up your leg up off the ground and move it back behind you. So if you can't grab your ankle, you can leave your leg on the ground and just lean your body back a little bit so you create a little stretch here. You can use your yoga strap to grab around the ankle. You can also let this other arm go and balance and reach up. Well, many options as we open up that hip flexor. Gentle stretch for the quadricep. Let's release that. Then take your upper body forward over that front leg into a modified pigeon. We're going to open up through the glute, through the piriformis. Just gentle. If you want to move into full pigeon, you can certainly extend the right leg all the way back behind you into that full pigeon pose. We're just here. 2 more breaths. Then walk those hands back in, pressing yourself up. This right leg that's to the outside will spin around to the front, and you can either place it right in front of your left shin, or you can wrap it all the way around for a nice twist. We'll hug that right knee into the opposite shoulder, left or right hand behind you, and look behind. So I'm feeling a really generous stretch in my glute on that right leg. Try to get both sitting bones down into the mat if you can. Use your muscles to lift upward through your spine and to rotate. Now keep your spine turned to the right, but take your head only and look as far as you can to the left. We'll hold 2 more breaths in a spiral twist. And then bring the head back to neutral. And we'll switch the legs to our Z-sit on the other side. So your right leg's going to be in front. Your left leg will be to the outside, about a 90-degree or so bend in each knee. Right hand is down to your mat. Inhale, open, expand. Really feel a generous chest stretch. Exhale, modified thread the needle, reach behind you or reach under, looking behind. And 2 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, hollow out the midsection as you twist. 1 more. Oh, one of my favorite twists. And then reach up. With this left hand, see if you can grab your ankle. If you can't quite get it, use your yoga strap, loop it around your foot, pick that leg up off the mat and pull back. If you need this hand for balance, that's okay. Otherwise, we'll try to lift up. And we're opening up this hip flexor as much as we can. Try to tighten your glute on that left leg. Squeeze that muscle. The breath moves in and out. And we'll release that side. Take the upper body directly over the right leg into modified pigeon. Use your hands to guide you down. You can also place a block maybe under your forehead to relax through the muscles of your neck. Or you can stack your hands into a double fist. And we'll stay here stretching through that piriformis, the glute, those deep external rotators of the right hip. Back leg can also extend all the way behind you into your full pigeon. Just 2 more breaths here. And then as you exhale, press into your palms to push yourself up. This left leg that's off to the side will come either to the front or to cross the other knee, drop down into that sitting bone, hug the knee into the opposite shoulder, reach behind, lengthen up through the spine, and rotate. Now, as you're breathing, each time you breathe in, think about creating a longer spine. Each time you breathe out, think about increasing your twist just a tiny bit. And then we'll keep our body turning to the left and just the head rotates to the right, and hold a couple more breaths. And bring your head back to neutral and your body back to neutral as well. We'll be coming down onto our backs, and if you have a block with you, I'm going to give you an option for a hip flexor stretch to use your block. If you don't have it, no worries, or you can also just use a little bit of a folded up towel or a cushion. So we'll come into bridge pose, and our option is to slide this block underneath the large portion of our pelvis. So as you come down to bridge, push down into your feet, up with your hips, and slide your block right underneath your pelvis. So you don't want the block in your lower back where it's curving. You want it to be supported by the pelvis itself. And your block has 3 heights, so you can choose which height of the block works best for you. So bring your right knee up into your chest and let your left leg slide all the way out to straight. So what the block does for us is it lifts our hips up so that when we slide the extended leg out, it's slightly lower than our hip, which allows our hip flexor to really open up nicely. Now that leg that's extended, our left leg, can stay in parallel, or you can let it slightly turn out a little bit. Wherever you kind of feel you can relax into this and release your hip flexor. Now your option is to remain as you are with this right knee hugged in, or we can use our yoga strap, place it under the bottom of that right foot, and lengthen our leg up towards the ceiling. So we're here in our hamstring, stretch on the right side, our hip flexor stretch on the left. And I'm going to look at my watch here, and I want to hold this for 2 minutes time. So now you get to settle in and just relax. Another benefit in this pose of having the leg extended up is you're in a legs up the wall position on this right side of the body. So if you want, you can flex and point your foot a little bit to pump the calf muscle, and you're just helping venous return to occur, or blood to come from that calf muscle down through your thigh and make its way back to the heart to circulate. And not just blood, but also your lymphatic fluid as well, which will help to stimulate your body's immune system as well. If you're on your feet a lot, this is great to help prevent varicose veins, spider veins, just to help also with maybe a little bit of swelling or edema that we might have in our ankles. And whatever our birdie is that's in the tree is agreeing with us, I guess. Let's see. We are at 20 seconds to go. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Inhaling deeply, exhaling slowly and completely. And let's take one more breath in. And then we'll release the right leg first. So if you're using your strap, you can take that out, lower that leg back down to the mat. And then if you need to adjust your block, sometimes it starts to move a little bit as you're up into that position. We'll hug the left knee into the chest and let the right leg slide out to straight. So for a lot of us, our right hip flexor tends to be tighter than the left, just because of what we do functionally in life, and mostly driving our cars tends to make our right hip flexor a little bit tighter. So you could feel some difference on this side. So let it relax, let it go. You can remain as you are, or grab that yoga strap and lengthen the hamstring. And if you don't have a strap, just extend your leg up and hold behind your thigh. But the strap helps for you to get the leg straight and to relax it a little bit. So you're letting that leg be supported by the strap, and also the strap helps you to flex your ankle. And we're here 2 minutes. We can add the option of a little bit of an ankle pump, flexing and pointing. Maybe even some ankle circles. And we just allow the blood, the lymphatic fluid, to empty from the tissues and veins of the lower legs and move itself back towards the heart. Our legs up the wall is beneficial in so many ways. It also helps us to release any tension, anxiety, or stress from our body, from our mind. Check to see if you're tensing any muscles that you might not be aware of. Sometimes we clench our jaw and we're not even aware that we're tightening it. We tend to shrug our shoulders up and tense through the upper back area, through the neck. So just relax any tension that you might have. And we're in this pose another 30 seconds. And maybe you can increase that range of motion just a little. Or you might have to back off on it if you're feeling your muscle starts to shake, or any pain in the joint or in the muscle itself. And we'll take one more breath. Exhale completely, releasing the strap from the bottom of the foot. And then we have 2 options here. Either stay in a supported bridge with your knees, both your knees bent, feet flat, or walk both legs out to straight. Let your toes turn out a little bit into a supported fish pose. Now take 3 really deep breaths and try to feel the front side of your body expand as you breathe in and contract as you breathe out. If you're feeling any pinch in your lower back, you can remove that block at any time from the pelvis. One last breath in. And breathe out. If the legs are extended to straight, bend them back in. We'll prepare to come up off the block by pressing into the feet, lift up, slide it out from underneath you, and from the top of your spine, begin to roll down one vertebra at a time, tucking your lower back as you go. And then we'll hug both knees right up into the chest. Rock a little bit from side to side. You can also take your happy baby pose, reaching towards the bottoms of the feet, pull the knees down into the armpits, and rock from side to side as well. So this is a nice counter stretch after we've been in that supported back bend. And then if you're in happy baby, release the feet, bring your knees together to tabletop and anchor your arms out, either your elbows or your entire arms next to the sides of your body. And keeping your shoulder blades on the mat, slowly tip your knees a little bit over to your right side. Feel your core engage. And then use your abs to bring that back up through the middle. And drop your knees a little bit over to the left. And come up. Now, if you feel like you're using your arms a lot, put your hands across your chest, your abdomen. Your elbows can still stay on the mat for a little bit of support, and drop your knees from side to side. So I want you to feel your abdominals doing this movement and the shoulders staying on the floor. Now, next time you go to the right, we're going to hold into a twist. So you might be able to get your knees all the way to come to the floor. You might need to use your block to support your legs a little bit as they come over. And take the twist of your choice. Knees can be stacked. You can draw the top knee up and over a little bit. You can wrap your legs into a rooted twist. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. Your head can stay neutral, or you can look the opposite direction from the way your knees are pointing. So that would be over to the left. On that last exhalation, slowly bring your knees back to the midline. And then we'll drop them over to the left side. If you need your prop, take your block with you to support those legs so that your legs aren't hanging in space and you're still able to get your right shoulder down to the mat. And then really breathe deeply. Option to turn your head towards the right. And relax any tension in your neck and your lower back. Two more breaths. And slowly bring those knees back to the midline, the head back to the midline. As we come into Supta Baddha Konasana, so the feet find the floor, the knees will open in a gentle butterfly position. And arms can either reach over the head, if you have that range of motion to find the mat. They can reach out to the side, and maybe your W arm position, or next to the sides of the body or across the abdomen. We'll just let those hips relax. Feel that gentle pull of gravity drawing the knees outward toward the earth. And expand through the belly as you breathe in. Let it float up with the inhalation and sink down to the spine with the exhalation. And those of you who are at home today might feel like you'd like to spend some more time here in quiet meditation. So feel free. There's no reason to rise too quickly. If you're following the sound of my voice and ready to move, close your knees together. Either roll over to one side to press yourself up to seated, or you can hold behind your thighs and gently rock yourself forward and back until you have that momentum to press yourself up. Come into a simple cross-leg pose or any other comfortable seated position. And we'll take a breath in, stretch up, and breathe out. One more, lengthen the spine. This time as you breathe out, place your hands right on top of your knees, and we'll circle our spine around to the right, to the front, to the left, and slightly back, engaging your abs. Sometimes we start our practice, if we're focusing on lower back, with this rolling movement. But finishing today, just notice how your lower back feels after our poses and after the practice. Let's go around twice more. Just lost my bun. And then when the timing feels right, pause and reverse. Gentle stretch through your hips. Let your head come along with you, releasing any tension left in your neck and between your shoulder blades. Two more times around this direction. And when you make your way back to neutral, we'll hold here and just gently tip the right ear toward the right shoulder. And left ear towards the left shoulder. Head comes back to neutral. Press palms at heart center and slightly let your chin drop down into our Anjali Mudra as we pause to express our gratitude and honor. And I am honored to teach you this morning, and may the light and love and peace that resides within me honor the light, love, and peace in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so very much for joining me here in the backyard. Thank you. Thank you. Those of you that are going to swim, enjoy. I'm going to run inside really quick and say hello to everybody online. I'll turn our recording off, and then I'll be back out in the backyard in a second, lady. Have a great day, everyone. If you can't join me, then I will see you next time. Here we go. I can see it today, actually.